Let's try that now. Come on. Anybody hear me yet? We got qualifying underway. Looking there at Randall Dixon. There we go. Now we got it. I hear myself now. Great. There got Jeff Barker out there. There you see Randall Dixon. Randy Shreves. Jeff Barker there in the 513. Andy Patton in the 87. Working there out down the back stretch. Scott Rion there. And watch them all come out there looking great here. Best times here soon to come in. Man. This PC and I are going round and round at the moment. So here we go, down here at, you see Dean Reynolds there. Not there. Oh man, come on. So we got it working here, kind of, but things are still giving us a few gremlins per se. There is your thing, and we got to turn that off as that is not working right now. Oh, heat number 1 here in your limited late models. Gonna look like we got Joseph Grand 8 there in front. We got Brian Dickens there second. Randy Shreves rolls off third. Rylan Banks there in fourth. Matt Barber there fifth. Jeff Barker sixth. Stephen Bixler there in seventh. Ombondo Magulsa there in 8th. Terry Landon there 9th. Clay Gustafson there in 10th. That is your starting grid here for your heat number 1. Everyone out here, we got them coming down. Great job so far in this series. And there you go, coming to the start-finish line. In the corner number 1, Randy out there in front, down there on the bottom of the speedway. Here comes Dickens down to the inside as he battles for the lead down here. Hitting the corner number 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front stretch. And down there in the corner number 1 once again. Randy retakes the lead there. Coming there off of the corner. Down through, off of there. out corner number 1 and 2, but about time. Dickens out there in front. Shreves there in second. Barber in third. And we're going out through there. All right, here is your results for heat number 1 when they get in here. Heat 1 results, that's going to be Brian Dickens out there in front. Getting that win, Randy Shreves there in second. Matt Barber there third. Chip Barger fourth. Ryan Banks there fifth. Terry Landis in sixth. Armando Magusa there in 7th, Joseph Grande in 8th, Stephen Mixler there in 9th, Craig Thompson there in 10th. Here in heat number 2, it's going to be starting Scott Realm out there on front, Adam Ross there in 2nd, Dean Reynolds 3rd, Trevor Garou in 4th, Pat Boyce there in 5th, Randall Dixon in 6th, Bob DeGood there in 7th, Jacob Mossell there in 8th, with Andy Patton there in 9th. All right, let's see here. Trying to make sure we got everything the way we need to. They bring it on out there, and looks like we're offline there. All right, there we go. That's better now. We bring it on down there. Anything from the mic? Okay, hello, testing. All right, so it is. All right. Perfect. They was out there in. You see them all coming down there out of corner number 2, getting ready for the start. Corner number 1, they go. Corner number 1. Down through, off the corner. Turn 3 and 4. Not in the corner number 1 once again. A.B. Real out there in front. Reynolds there second. They battle on out here. Down through the backstretch. In the corner number 1. Real not there. Final lap here. there, Dean Reynolds second. Adam Ross there in third. Trevor Guru there in fourth. Pat Boyce in fifth. All right, now here is your heat number 2 results. Scott Riom out there getting the win. Dean Reynolds there in second. Adam Ross there third. Trevor Guru fourth. Pat Boyce there fifth. Randall Dixon in sixth. Bob McGood there seventh. Jacob Massal there eighth. Andy Patton in ninth. All right, we'll be back after this short message from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our main event here in just a moment.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Alright, here we go. Your starting grid for the main event of the limited late model here from AJ Custom Creations. I see him coming down there out of the corner. We got Brian Nixon out there in front. Scott Rion there in second. In third, Randy Shreve. Dean Reynolds there fourth. Matt Barber fifth. Adam Ross there in sixth. Jeff Barger in seventh. Trevor Guru there in eighth. Ron Bank starts ninth tonight. Pat Boyce there in 10th. Jerry Landis in 11th. Randall Dixon there in 12th. In 13th, that's going to be Armando with Bobby Good there in 14th. Joseph Randy there in 15th. Jacob Marcel 16th. Stephen Victor there in 17th. Andy Patton 18th. Craig Thompson there in 19th there tonight. Now you're watching them there off of corner number 2. Down there through the back straight in the corner number 3. They're working on out here onto the front stretch, getting ready here for the start of the race. Down there in the corner number 1. Caution here, waves as you see them pile up there on the backstretch coming out of 2. Right there you see Pat Boyce involved, many others involved as well. Trying to get us a replay here. Adam Ross involved here down in the corner number 2. Thank you everybody for coming out and supporting. As you see, they ended up coming out here on lap number 2. They're 3 wide down there in the corner number 1. Brent Reynolds there in the mix of it. That top lane stacks up to 35, ends up spun around. That is gonna be 35. That's Adam Ross. He's number 7 on the scoreboard, but 35 there on Pat Boyce we saw was involved. Joseph Grandy involved. There you see the 518. At the Terry Landis. Flavor Dobson and Andy Patton. Trying just to see there. Yeah, so numerous cars involved here in caution number 1 here at Port Royal. Trevor it's shown as out. There he is now. He's down there at the bottom. He's on pit exit right now. Down the front straight away, they're getting lined back up there in these limited lates. Scoreboard jumping around a little bit. Black flag there for Trevor Guru. That gets taken away. Lights out and Fred in that pace car. Randy Shreves there in 4th. Up there on that top side. As you watch them there out of turn number 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front stretch. They'll get that green flag. They're down and away. As they work down that front straightaway, that top lane, Scorpio getting a great restart there. Getting up there in front of Pickens. There we see that 56 working it outside as well. And Brandon Reeves up into 3rd. And right there at the bottom buffer of Dixon there through turn 3 and 4. Back around, get a little touch there. Down there off corner number 4, down across the front straightaway. Into corner number 1, up there against that outside wall. See that's coming into the rather nice. Right up against the bumper. Pickens can't seem to get anybody off his bumper here tonight. They all seem to want to be right up there and give him a nice little shove. Now you're watching out there. 76 down there at the back. Ryan Bank looking there at Jacob LaSalle now in that number 47 up there at the top side right behind Dean. Dean tries to hang on to it down there in the corner number 3 and 4. At 76 there, Ryland Banks all over down there to the bottom side. He goes 3 wide into corner number 1. And now he slides up in front out there and puts the conditions into the outside wall. And he end up 3 wide now with Dickens higher on, or Banks on top. 56 there is Reed. Gets up into second once again. Down there in the corner number 1. 19 laps to go here in your main event. I've got limited late models here for the A&J Coast2Coast Racing Hometown Heroes. Caution flag out again. This time it's going to be called there on Matt Barber being involved. Ryland Banks once again also involved. Now you want them down through the front straightaway. And see Ryland Banks there in that 76 up there, gets that outside wall. Gets up there underneath the 56 and ends up just hitting himself around. And now he's up and over. And man, that might be the end of his night there. And you want him now come back out there through turn 3 and 4. Matt Barber out front. Randall Dixon there in second. Scott Riom in third. That is how they're lined up right now. They come around through off the front straightaway. 4 drivers in the pits. That's Ryland Banks, Joseph Grandy, Stephen Mixlin, and Andy Patton, all down there in pit lane. Fred pulls in, getting rid of a green flag once again here after a second caution in the limited late models. Down there off the corner they go. Top side looking like he wants to get going at Scott Rio. Getting a great start out there as the leader. The 56 and 3 fall back into second once again. Gotta go to the middle of the racetrack. You got Dickens right there in second down there on the bottom side. Up there on top, that is the 47 there of Jacob Massal. He tried to get up there in the second. Battling beside Randy Shreve down there off the corner. They want him head there off in the corner number 2. Scott Rion out there in the front. There is the Reynolds there battling, trying to find his spot in line. Can't quite get there as they work there off turn number 4. Back out onto the front stretch. Down here through the front straightaway, you got that 51 of Blake Christopherson there. They work down the back straightaway. Reynolds now on the bottom side underneath the Christopherson. And they work there in the corner number 3 and 4. Riom still out front there as they come out of the corner down that front straightaway. 41 of Pat Boyd, still squeezing in line there momentarily up there on the top. Now you want to come here out of the bottom. Here comes oh, man, they stacking up there. Not afraid to put the bumpers underneath of one another. And they're racing that tight down here through in the corner number 1. 3 wide there. Wait, the 51 is Thompson in the middle. You got Randy Trees on the outside. The 47 of Jacob Massal down there on the bottom. Dickens also trying to get up there with Reynolds in the pack as well. Hey, watch them all coming off the corner down there, 3 wide. There you see 75. There, Trevor Guru, we got problems. Jacob Marcel around. You see, they're all bunched up, coming there out of the corner. He gets into that outside wall. He just gets stuffed and up there and ends up catching the entrance there to the track. And he'll end up top. Man, oh man, it's up right there. For him, he rolls it on out there. Dean Reynolds there in 6th. Yeah, they working on out down there through the front stretch once again. Dean Reynolds there, fifth. Brian Dickens 4th. Clay Christopherson there in 3rd, but Randy Tree 2nd. Scott Riome out there in front. Definitely appreciate everybody coming in and supporting on the pole here at Figure Farm TV. Getting ready here to send them off once again down that back straightaway. They're all single file. Pace cars off. And they're getting a not going sign here. Lights come back on the pace machine. So at least one more lap under caution. In the corner number 3, they go up there on that high side. Pace car rolls in. We're ready to go this time. As they come out of 4, green flag. Riome has the start. They work on down here in the corner number 1. 12 laps to go. And we see there with Chris Carpenter trying to get up there in the 3rd. Here comes Dickens, though. He's battling there with them. In the corner number 3 and 4. Shreves up there on the top side. Farmer back there in 13th. Stuck up there into the outside wall. Not sure exactly what happened. Landis has a black flag. Not sure exactly for what. And they're now 4 wide coming there off of 4. It is there for about around 8 through 11. And he's working off there. Riome out front. Shreves there 2nd. Trevor Guru there in 3rd. Matt Barber, he's out there in the 13th. We've got Jacob Marcel out 41. There, Pat Boyd is coming there on the pit road. We saw he had problems. I believe he ended up losing a wheel off of that machine. Bang, I'm there out of turn number 4, 9 laps to go. Out here in the corner number 1. Everybody's there working there front to back. Scott Rio, Randy Shreve, Trevor Guru, your top 3 as they head on out here with 8 laps, soon to be 7 laps to go. Out here in the corner number 4, off of 4. Down that front straightaway, side by side. Up there for a second is Trevor Guru. He's looking to try to get up there and take second spot away from Randy Shreve. And he makes a great run off turn number 2. Gets side by side. Going to throw that slide. Down there through 3 and 4. Shreve's going to dock it back down back underneath. Here in the corner number 1. Shreve's now going to try to work that slider. Got to bring it back up there, and he's got room, not enough, no, now it just falls back in behind. there beside them as they work down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Reeves hanging on there, a little touch. Going to end up losing some momentum there. It's going to allow the 51 for Robertson to get around him now. And in the work there off of turn 2 down that back straightaway. Giroux out there in front. Riom out front, Giroux second. Christopherson there in third, and Reeves fourth. Four laps to go in the limited late model. Corner 4, 3 laps to go now, 2 laps to go there for Scott Rio, Trevor Giroux, Clay Christopherson, and Randy Reeves there in fourth. Falls back a little bit there. He ended up getting down there into the middle of the turn. He tried to hang on there for second and third, but not quite do it. Now he tries to battle it back up there. Hanging into fourth, as we said. Final lap now for Rio, coming down there in the corner number 3 and 4. As he works off a 4, final time here for Rio, down across the stripe. He will get the victory here in the limited late model. Scott Rio, your winner here at Portland. All right, we'll get with our winners here. Langer stopping in there at second. Let's get our results up. There is your final result. Scott Riom out there getting the win. Trevor Giroux there second. Langer stops in there third. Randy Reeves there in fourth. Dean Reynolds there fifth. Adam Ross there sixth. Randall Dixon seventh. Jeff Barker eighth. Brian Dickens there ninth. Armando there in 10th, Bob the Good there in 11th, Matt Barber 12th, Andy Patton 13th, Stephen Mixler 14th, Rylan Banks there 15th, Terry Landis there 16th, Pat Boy 17th, in 18th we got Jacob Massell and Joseph Grandy finishing there in 19th tonight. That is your limited late models finishing order. Let's see who can we get with now as we look for Clay Christopherson, Trevor Giroux, and Scott Riom. Scott Riom, there you see him pulling on to the victory board. There is Clay Trevor Giroux. Clay Christopherson should be around somewhere, I hope. There he is. There's your top three. Go out of order here a little bit. We'll get Trevor Giroux here first. He's our second place finisher. Good evening, Trevor. How are you going? I'm doing well, and great job getting that car into second place tonight. How'd you think that late model felt tonight here at Port Royal? Well, you did a great job bringing it up through the field. I mean, you brought it up 6 spots there from where you started and finished there second. It's always tough to bring those late model, to get a great finish here in these series at Coast to Coast. I mean, you guys have such tough competition week in, week out, day after, day and night here. throughout the week. So you guys always put on quite the show.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're getting into a race and having a fit, and something really good last, especially doing these cars at this track. So obviously some cautions helping you there, finding some cars, but yeah, man, I definitely had some speed running that top there. Felt really, really comfortable up there, and was kind of just snoggy there at the end. Just I think he was just making mistakes and tapping the wall, and that's the only reason why I was catching him. I don't know if I was faster than him or not. I have to go look at the lap time. But man, his car was fast, man. He was on rails, and I'm honestly, I'm super stoked for him, man. He's been trying his ass off to win in these things, and he's been putting in the work and the grinding and trying to get one, and he's had so many good finishes. It's about time he gets one. I'm super happy for him. I wanted him to win this more than I wanted to win it. I'm dead serious, man. I'm super happy for him. So congrats to Scott, man.
Well,
well deserved. Congrats to Clay, and FTM top of the year. So we'll take it.
well, I mean, if you're curious about the stats, I got stats here in front of me. Your best lap was a 19.25. Guillaume's best lap was a 19.38. Your last lap of the race, you ran a 19.51 and he ran a 19.6.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I was a bit quicker, but I mean, who knows, right? It's spring and anything can happen. It's one thing to get to the gun, another thing to pass them. So,
That's true, especially when it's one-lane racing.
yeah, exactly, right? I would have had to throw a slider, and it would have killed momentum, and Scotty ducked back under me. And one of those things, but honestly, I don't even care. It's just like I said, I'm super happy for Scott, and it's winning these things. I think he said he's won in every series now, so super pumped for him, super proud of him. Like I said, he's been putting in the work, grinding, practicing, and learning, man. It's definitely well deserved.
Well, congrats there for you getting second. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I just got to thank all the guys at FTM, of course. John, Randy, Dean on top fives, and got to thank Big Tim Race Raptors, beautiful wrap bars and trackside. Swan Speed Shop, Expert Installation, Samacon Sets, everybody at C2C for putting this stuff on for us. Adam, you for doing the broadcast for us. We appreciate it. And again, huge shout out to Scott, man. Super happy for him, and hopefully that's one of many for him here at the late models.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and we'll see you throughout the night, I'm sure.
Yeah, see you.
Alrighty, good luck in the next one there, Trevor.
Thank you.
All right, I have Trevor Guru, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Clay Christopherson, our third place finisher. You had quite the run there tonight, Clay.
Yeah, the car felt, I mean, for what it was, good. It's kind of middle and top or not. Start getting 1 and 2 or anything. 1 and 2 but top just seemed like a long way around at the time.
Well, it definitely you paid off. I mean, you started back in the back. From what I'm seeing, you started back close to about let's see here. What, about 18th?
Yeah, I think 18 something like that.
No, so you definitely had your work cut out for you coming in here. Not quite having the best starting position as I'm sure you would have hoped for, but you made up for it, got up here in the third.
Yeah, like I said, the car felt good. It was pretty one lane, especially with these things with the gear setup and just the power they have in general. It takes so long to get out of the corner, and every restart was a scramble because there were so many different speeds at the time.
For sure. I mean, and you did a great job keeping it pretty clean and finishing there third. You got any sponsor shouts? Anybody you want to thank for getting third tonight?
All you guys for putting this on, all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 Big Block Sets.
All righty. Well, congrats there getting third, and you got we going to see you throughout the night.
No, I think I'm calling her on that one.
All righty. Well, you have yourself a great night there, Clay.
Thanks, sir.
All right, have Clay Christopherson, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with Scott Riom, our winner. Good evening there, Scott. How's it going?
Just
Yeah, I understand you've been after this for a long while now.
Since Coast to Coast came out with these, and Dean talked me into, like, they're extremely fun to drive. So I started playing around with them, and I was on twice earlier today, turning laps, and then about a half hour before the session opened up, I was in there and just trying different things. And I mean, it's different when there's no cars out there, but yeah, I've been working at these, and I was just telling the other guys this is the kind of completes it. Yeah, it's a limited late model. It's not a pro or a super or anything, but it's my first win, and now I have a win in the late models, both series of the mods and sprint cars. So I mean, I was after one of these in a late model, and I'm glad I finally got it. And I mean, I honestly wouldn't even be trying these out if it wasn't for Trevor and Bart Watson, and I mean, these guys that love running these things that are getting me to broaden my horizons a little bit. So huge shout out to especially Trevor. He was pumping me up there and helping me out a lot tonight. So definitely a big shout out to him.
Well, now that you got a win in modifieds and the late models and the sprints, are you going to broaden your horizon more and try one of the non-wing events?
No, I think I'm going to leave those for the guys that have talent.
You don't want to come out for the midgets?
Nah, I don't like those short people. They creep me out.
They're a lot of fun.
I'm sure they are, but like I said, I don't have the talent to run those or the patience. And by the time we get around to running them, I'm about 12 beers deep, and I tend to get a little mouthy when I have that much alcohol. So it's probably best that I don't.
Well, you did a great job getting the win here in the limited lates tonight. You got any more sponsor shouts? Anybody else you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, all the guys over at FTM. A lot of guys might think that we're on here all the time and grinding and doing all this crap. And honestly, it's just a group of guys that we just get on there and shoot the shit half the time, and we'll race and just hang out. And there's a lot of guys that can't even run coast to coast because their I ratings are too high, but they'll still jump in there when we're racing and, hang out. So shout out to all those guys, not just the ones that you guys see, but all of them. Gunner at Swan Speed Shop for all your modified 358 big block sets. Andy Patton I believe it was Andy Patton for this, the AJ Custom Creations. So huge shout out to him for giving us a opportunity to have this broadcasted. You obviously for doing the broadcast. Dean for admitting tonight, and all the other guys over at Coast to Coast. I give those guys a hard time when if it's not Jeff Parker doing the admitting, because Jeff is it's so awesome when Jeff gets on there. He's so calm, and he keeps us all kind of in line. And when it's somebody else, I like to get on there and say I miss Jeff. So it's not meant in any ways other than just having a good time. So shout out to all those guys over there at Coast to Coast that make all this happen. So
alrighty, well, congrats there. And are you coming out for the next series and then calling it a night?
Yeah, I'll run the sprint cars. Might as well, right?
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you out there in the sprints then. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, have Scott Riom, your winner here at Port Royal in the limited late models. Now we're going and heading toward the 360 wing sprint cars. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here shortly.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they've done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Alright, we're back here at Port Royal, this time watching the drivers out here in the sprints. There you see Randy Shreves there in the 56, taking a few laps around here, trying to make sure he's got the feel for that machine. Working in down here out of the back stretch onto the front stretch here in the corner number 1 and 2, down there into the back stretch. Ross Portia there in the number 10, he's also taking a few laps there. There are 13 drivers here. See how they split this up after they qualify here. Qualifying underway. Now we watch them take to the track. Gavin Shaw out there, first to come out onto the speedway. Try to get it to where this shows up the way we want it to. Slowly but surely getting this moved over. I see qualifying time starting to come to an end. All right, there we go. That'll work. Now we get ready here. Your grid comes up. Adam Ross out there in front, taking the pole. With Terry Landis there in second. Starting there in third is Randy Shreves in that car number 56. Ross Quimta there in fourth. Pet Boy is there fifth. Ted York in sixth. With Jet Barker there in seventh. That is your starting grid for heat number 1. Getting ready here for, as we said, the start of the race. Down there, they get going. Trying to find the excitement on the racetrack once this gets rolling. Ross back there in fifth. Adam Ross out there in front. Ross Quinta there in fourth. Hey, driver, bring it on out. Looking great here. Down through the front, straight away they go. Lights out on the pace car now as he comes around there in the corner number 1 and 2. Seven drivers trying to make sure that they get those cars feeling right for their feature. Everybody will go as there was only about 13 drivers. So I believe heat number 2 is only going to be 6 drivers large. Down here in the corner number 3, waiting on the green flag. Adam Ross, your control car down there on the inside. Terry Landis looking for a better run here, unlike what he had in the limited lates. Green flag is out here in the corner number 1 to go in the turn 2 down that back straightaway. What a run there by Landis as he gets up there. Can't quite hang on. Look out though, Randy Shreves down there on the inside. Might have made a little bit of contact there with Landis, but unsure. Now you're watching him down there in the corner number 1. There he made contact. And Landis tries to get back under control. End up sliding all the way back there to about 6. Ted York there in a 7. Back there coming off turn number 4. Back down that front straightaway. Now we see Pat Boyce there in 4th. Now with Ross Quinta there in 3rd. Randy Shreves there 2nd. Up there to the top side, diving down there off the corner. That is Ross. Driving that Phantom number 10 down there through 1 and 2. Right there at the bumper of Shreves as he works down there into the corner. Shreves there at the bumper of Adam Ross. Now Ross Quinta there in 3rd. Up there off corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Here in the 3, Ross makes the move. He'll take it. The eyes up way too high. He's going to put him through. Oh, no! The leaders take each other out. Oh, man. Randy Shreves going for one heck of a ride. And Landis ends up clipping him there in the corner. Shreve's trying to get out of the way. Down there on the bottom, unofficial results. Pat Boyce, possible winner. Jeff Barker there second, but Ross Quinta there in third. Take another look here at Randy Shreves here on this last lap. Taking one heck of a ride here in heat number one. I see him come down here. They're all three wide coming off the corner. And he just gets punted down there, across, down onto the bottom, and for a ride there. And then he gets hit there once again. And then here comes Landis. Landis getting hit, bringing it in there. All right, heat one results. They're going to be Pat Boyce getting the win. Jeff Barker there second. Ross there third. Ted York there fourth. Terry Landis fifth. Adam Ross sixth. Randy Shreves there in seventh. All right, now, coming here off of heat number two. You're looking at Scott Riom out there in front. Randy Patton there in second. Gavin Shaw third. Joseph Grundy there fourth. Bob DeGood fifth. Dean Reynolds in sixth. All right, there we go. They're getting underway here as heat number two heats up. Everybody's coming there down the back stretch. 6 laps the distance. And work down through the front straight away. You see them all there. Andy Patton and that A&J Custom Creations machine up there on the outside. Off turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Fred pulls that pace machine in. We're getting ready for a green flag here in your heat number 2. And I want to roll on down through into corner number 1. Back around there off of 2. Down that back straight away. Gavin Shaw not getting the start he was hoping for. And Scott Riom now out there in front. Down there in the corner number 1. Here he goes. Andy Patton there in second. He's got company from the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Another driver that's looking to improve on his night. Over top of the limited late model performance. And Patton back down there on the inside. Looking like he's going to be top dominant once again. 4 laps to go here in heat number 2. As you see that 4, Scott Riom working down there real tight. As Grandy out there in front. Riom once again on the bottom, slides it up. Grandy got to make him basically lower. Moving down there to the inside. Once again out there, out top. Riom in second. Grandy takes the lead. Riom's going to hang it in there for the moment, right there behind. 3 laps to go here in heat number 2. There you see Andy Patton hanging out in third. He's going to try that slide line off of 1 and 2 down there, down the back straightaway. And that slide line does work to some degree. That short slider coming into the corner, sometimes that will work to help you close the gap on the guy in front of you. Well, they worked down that back straightaway. Final lap here through 3 and 4. Andy Patton down on the inside. Not quite enough. Grandy there getting the win. Riom there second. Patton in third. Bob DeGood there for it. Dean Reynolds there for it. Gavin Shaw in sixth. All right, warm-ups underway here. Work on out there. Underway here for warm-ups. Oh, there is. Okay, that didn't work out too well now, did it? I see. There is your results. As they off of that brake corner there. As you see, measure the 2 results is what we're after. Joseph Grandy getting the win. Scott Brown there second. Andy Patton third. Bobby Good fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth. Gavin Shaw there sixth. You're watching warm-ups take place here in the 360s. All right, getting ready here for the grid. "25 laps the distance. Here we go. Your starting grid. It's going to be Pat Boy starting out there on pole. Joseph Grandy there in second. Jeff Barger third. Scott Real in fourth. Ross Crunta there in fifth. Randy Patton sixth. Ted York there seventh. Eighth goes to Bob DeGood, where he's going to start. Terry Landis in ninth. Dean Reynolds starts 10th tonight. Adam Ross in 11th. Gavin Shaw there in 12th. Here in 13th. That's going to be Randy Shreves. All right, getting ready here for the start. Hey, drivers like putting on a show here at Coast to Coast. Hope that everybody's enjoying watching it there on the pole, along with Coast to Coast Racing Network, which is the main media stream for Coast to Coast Racing Network. For Coast to Coast Racing League. You can catch them every night. Almost, I believe the only 2 nights they do not have something going on Coast to Coast Racing Network is on Fridays and Saturdays. So Coast to Coast Racing Network, your home for all your Coast to Coast racing action. Ted York down there in 8th. Running a logo on that machine that I recognize. There for NARC. Anybody familiar with that series? That's over at School Sim Racing, or SSR. I remember over there myself. Great bunch of guys over there as well. Off turn number 4, green flag, drops, and they are down and away Heading here in the corner number 1. Hey, them all getting on that loud pedal in the corner number 1. Down there on the inside, that's 513 and Jeff Barker trying to make a run on the inside. What a run there by Briome as he's there in the middle of the racetrack. They work there off the corner. There you see the 09 of Ted York down there on the bottom side. Up there at the high side, there you see the number 10 of Ross Quanta trying to work his way up through towards the front. Bad Boys out front right now. Not by much of that 518 of Grandy's trying to battle him up on the high side. Grandy into the outside wall a little bit. That's going to allow the 10 of Ross to get around him, along with possibly giving that spot over to Jeff Barker as they work there off turn 4. 23 laps to go here in your main event for the 360 wing sprints. They work down through the bottom there of the raceway. Working there in the corner number 1. Back off there in the corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Ted York and the 513 there. Pat Boyce ended up having some issues as he's falling back now in the third. Could possibly be in trouble by falling back there behind Ted York. As Ted York down there on the inside. There you see that 161 of Terry Landis. He's trying to get up there as well and battle the best he can. Out there at the front, though, it is Ross leading the way with Joseph Grandy there in second. Ted York there in third. As they roll on down through there you see them all scattering around Pat Boyce. Pat Boyce looks like he's falling off some. Rosso out front, Grandy there second. Here in the corner number 2 onto the backstretch. Cronta there in front with Joseph Grandy there in second. Landis getting a little loose up there on the top side. As you see them all go underneath them there. Randy Shreves, Pat Boyce, 513 Jeff Barker still, and Landis on his side and up and over. Caution is out for Terry Landis in that 161. All right, see Landis up there against that outside wall. Coming down here in the 1 and 2. Yes, ends up there a little close. Ends up on his side. Up and over. No more wing there for Landis. He'll come into the pits and get it fixed. I don't know if you caught it or not there at the bottom of your screen. Landis is coming back out. Down through the front straightaway here in the corner number 1. Joseph Grandy there in second. Ted York. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Yeah, Ted York there third. Landis back here towards the back. Joseph Grandy second. Ted York there third. Ross out front. Getting ready for another start here. Working there off turn 3 into turn 4. Off, two, turn two, down that back straightaway. $15 laps to go. Now they're working on out here. Ross, still your leader. Grundy there in second. York in third. Reynolds trying to work his way up there. You see Pat Boyd trying to work his way back up there. Ted York down there on the bottom side. Working off a turn number 4. Down to the front straightaway. Barker up there gets that outside wall. Gotta be careful. You don't want to happen to you what happened. Oh, and Reynolds popping a wheelie down the back stretch. We're down here in the corner, number 1 and 2 once again. Grandy out front. Ross in second. Oh no! And Barker gets spun around. Ross. Adam Ross getting there sideways. There is Ross trying to hang on to it back there as Barker went around. Down there on the bottom, ends up getting caught up there with the 56 of Shreves. Great job logging it down, waiting for everybody to pass. So Grandy out front now with Ross there in second, Ted York third. And then you got Scott Realm in for it, Terry Landis back there fifth. I know I'm naming them off wrong there. There they go. I was going to say they should fix here. Oh boy, Randy Shreves, that might not be the best lap time that you could ask for. Shreves' lap time, as you saw, is a 16.666 for his best time of the race. Second caution here up the 360. Pace car lights are off. There's a single file up there at the top. Pace car's in. Here we go. Right there, up corner 4, down across the stripe there, green flag, Shreves with a black flag. That gets Killiard. Down there through the backstretch, look out, here comes Ross. There underneath, Ross Crunta gonna go and get that spot back. But no, Grandy's gonna take it back and get the lead once again, 8 laps to go. As these two battle it out hard down that back straightaway. Ross there in second. Ted York there in a third, down there on the bottom, watching these two battle it out. York's just trying to hang on to the best he can. So that way he knows he's in a spot there as you see Ross up into the outside wall. Back on there through 3 and 4, trying to ride up there against that as close as they can without touching. Ross up there, almost getting in trouble once again down there through the back straightaway in the corner number 3 and 4, 6 laps to go. York there in third. Losing ground slightly, but not enough to fully worry about. And we're going down here out of the corner. Back across the front straightaway. There they go. Now we see Granny into the outside wall. Going to hang on to it. That might allow Ted York to get up there, but not enough. Ted York falling back there quite a ways now. Scott Rion with a black flag there in the pits. 3 laps to go. And work up there along the outside. That is Ross. Down there across the stripe. 2 laps to go. Ted York in third. Up off the corner there onto the back stretch. Ross leading the way. Joseph Grandy there second. Ted York there in third. And work there off of the corner, but look out, here comes Randy Shreves. He's going to try to make a run here with the final lap. Can he get up there and battle Ted York? Ted York's going to slide it up there. He's going to try to hang on to it there through turn 3 and 4. Shreves is there, rattling out down the front straightaway. It's going to be Ted York for third place as Ross get your win there at Port Royal in the 360s. Ross Crenta getting the win here at Port Royal in that car number 10. Your finish results here for the main feature of your 360s. Gonna be Ross Crenta getting the win with Joseph Grandy there in second. Ted York there third. Randy Shreves fourth. Terry Landis there fifth. Chip Barger sixth with Adam Ross there seventh. Kevin Shaw in eighth. Andy Patton ninth. Dean Reynolds there 10th. Pat Boyce in 11th. Scott Rion 12th. Bob the Good there 13th. That is your finishing order here tonight in your 360 sprint class. From the A&J Custom Creations Hometown Heroes this Wednesday night. All right, now we'll get with our winners here, starting with Ted York, who finished third. Good evening there, Ted. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was telling the viewers here that I personally recognize a couple of them logos you got on that machine of yours tonight.
Yeah, I'm the head of the NARC League through School of Sim Racing, so that's where the logos come from.
I'm still a part of that Discord. I can't run over there as much as I used to. When I first started out racing, as I got myself into broadcasting, as you can see, and been quite the journey. Always have fun. Kind of take us through though here at Port Royal tonight. What did you think of the track, and how'd you think that 360 handled for you tonight?
It went way better than I expected. I normally hate Port Royal, but pretty good. The bottom was working good, and I'm generally a bottom feeder, so it worked for me.
You're one of them catfish people, huh?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm one of them too. Man, oh man, no. But you did a great job keeping that car under control. I mean, I was expecting maybe a little bit more slick here tonight, but it didn't seem too terrible.
No, there was a lot of tack out there. It got slick like the last, I don't know, 5, 6 laps. It seemed to really slicken up some more.
Well, like I said, you did a great job getting third place tonight. You got sponsor shout outs. Anybody you want to thank there for getting third?
I'd like to thank Andy Patton for sponsoring this and you for broadcasting, and that's about it. And everybody at C2C for putting this on. Thank you.
Well, you did a great job, as we said, getting that NARC School of Sim Racing number 9 up there in the third place and bringing home that third place finish. A great job.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You have a great night too, Ted. Are we going to see you in the midgets, or are you done?
I don't know. I'm debating.
Alrighty. Well, if not, you have yourself a great night either way.
You too.
All right, that was Ted York, our third place finisher. Joseph Grandy here in second. Good evening there, Joseph. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam?
Oh, it's not too much is going on other than I got to try to get parts for PC, I think, again. I think I got RAM sticks going bad, but I'm unsure. I got the PC's acting up whenever I first fire it up. I got to remove the RAM and then put it back in, and then it fires up. So I don't know what's going on.
That's no good.
No, not good at all. But, I mean, what was good for tonight was you getting second place here in that 518.
Yeah, didn't feel comfortable at all there in 1 and 2 running the top. I probably should have stuck to the slider line there that I ran for a few laps, but Ross is a hard guy to beat regardless, and I'm happy with a second, but I didn't wreck like I usually do at Port Royal.
Yeah, we saw a couple drivers take quite a flip here tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot rougher than it usually is, that's for sure.
Hey, I know we saw, I believe, Terry Landis was one that ended up there getting bit by that outside wall in turn 1 and 2, like you were saying.
Yeah, she was treacherous.
Oh, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting second place there tonight in the 360s?
Absolutely. Raise the bar. They give me awesome sets every week. All the guys over at RMDB, Catalytic Recovery, Hinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highlight Cinematography, your girlfriend Olivia. Thanks to guys, all the guys at Coast to Coast, and you, man, for doing the broadcast.
It's my pleasure. And you going out and trying your hand at the midget, or are you done for the night there, Joseph?
Nope, I'm done. I don't mess with the midgets a whole lot.
All right. Well, congrats, getting second, and we'll see you next week, Jen.
Sorry, man.
All right. That was Joseph there, your second place winner here tonight. Here we're getting with Ross, our victory winner. Good evening, Ross from Victory Lane. How's that feel?
Pretty good. Always good to get a W in this league. So, well, it's good to get a W whenever, I guess. But yeah, feels good.
I know the wins don't come easy at Coast to Coast. Well, the stiff competition they have here.
Yeah, there's quite a few drivers who can get a win here week in, week out. So obviously, when you get one, you got to be pleased and take it.
Like I said, you did a great job getting that victory here tonight. You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
For Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Race Design, Power Outdoors. I want to thank Andy Patton, A&J Customs, for sponsoring the race tonight, and thank you for putting on the show, and everybody at Coast to Coast, keep the lead going.
All righty, well, congrats again, and are you done for the night, or are you going to try to mess with the midgets?
No, I think I'm done.
All righty, well, you have yourself a great night, Roz. Congrats on getting that victory tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, I'll wrap it up here from Port Royal with the 360s. I can't remember if we stay at Port Royal for the midgets or if we switch tracks. So don't go anywhere on the pole. And Coast to Coast Racing Network will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Right when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in an on-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Sorry that it takes me a few moments here to try to roll through here. On the broadcast, I don't have my stream deck at the moment. All right, so I did figure that. All right, well, that works perfect tonight. A&J Custom Creations Hometown Heroes here tonight, along with the Regal Wraps and Designs Midgets. Hey, watch. Here we got practice underway. Oops, sorry, forgot to unclick. There we go. Now we're better. Looking there at Jeff Barger, Brandon Templeton. There you see a bunch of drivers down it. Why is that not? Somehow that closed. Give me a moment here. We'll get that all fixed back here again. Somehow the training paints left me, which in turn took away the driver's paint schemes. $11 drivers showing up for the midgets tonight. Not bad. Definitely really appreciate that. Whether you're watching at Coast to Coast or over at Flinger Farm TV for On the Pole, we definitely appreciate you both watching in both locations. Here we go. There is your qualifying times down there at the bottom of your screen. They're currently watching Jeff Barker out of Bruton, New York. Down through 1 and 2, back onto the backstretch here. Yeah, see there, Terry Landis getting out there in front with a 12.735. Great job there by him. Jack hitting second. Jeff Barker, yeah, watching him there. You watched them all come down through there, trying to find out the best. Come on now, come on. Adam Ross. Coming there, there's Pat Boyce. We have Brandon Templeton yet to qualify. All right, here we go. Here is your starting grid for heat number 1. They split it up into 2 heats here. Pat Boyce is out there in the pole with Ted York there second. Jeff Barker there third. Terry Landis there fourth. Bob DeGood there fifth. Brandon Templeton in sixth. They get set here to rock and roll. Pat Boyce out there in front. Ted York there second. Landis, as we said, they're third. Fourth. Barker's down there on the inside in third. All right, but Pat there, they do invert still for these as they invert the top 4. Terry Landis up there on the top side. Lights are off on that pace machine. It's 2 laps for the green. Coming around here, we'll see what the pace car does. Pace car pulls off. They're down and away here, heading towards corner number 1. Landis out there in front. There you see Jeff Barker. He's in third down there through off the corner. 3 wide there as you see Pat Boyce in the middle of the racetrack. Coming there off of the corner. Down through off of the corner they go. Has Landis there in second, Barker there third. Landis working that top side, going to work it down there into corner number 3 at 4. Landis still hanging on there. He might have second a moment, but Barker, oh no! Pat Boys pops it off the tire down there on the bottom. That's going to allow Templeton to get up there and battle it out for about third spot. Landis still up there towards the top side, trying to bring that midget up there towards the front. Barker down there on the inside, Landis on the outside. Definitely interested to see how this plays out here. As you see, Landis down there getting a run, better run off of 4. And final lap here as they work off the corner. Bob the Good, that's Templeton out there. Struggling as Landis gets up there, comes across. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that was Barker. Barker out front, Landis there in second. Boyce there in third. York there fourth. Templeton there fifth. Waiting on your results to show up. Heat 1 results. They're going to be Jeff Barker getting the win. Terry Landis there second. Pat Boyce there third. Ted York fourth. Brandon Templeton there fifth. Bob the Good in sixth. Here is your starting grid for heat number 2. That's going to be Randy Shreves. They're getting a pole. Stephen Bixler there second. Adam Ross there third. Jack Hitt in fourth. Jacob Wilson there in fifth. Working there off the corners. One more lap till we go green. Five drivers here in heat number 2. Side by side, ready for the restart. Here we go. As they head down through the front straightaway, Stephen Mixler out there in front. Randy Shreves up there on the top side. Adam Ross down there on the inside, trying to get that inside the bite. Can't quite get it there at the moment as Shreves out front, up there against that outside wall. There. Oh, and Shreves ends up spun around there on the outside, getting caught up there with Bixler. As Adam Ross does get that inside to work a little bit. Here comes Jack Hitt now down there on the bottom. As Jack Hitt worked here off the corner, down there in the front straightaway. In the 1 and 2 here at Lima Land. I believe that's where we are, is Lima Land. And watching them down there, 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. As Adam Ross trying to fight back here. 1 lap to go. This is the final lap. Jack Hitt now cuts it underneath, coming down there in the corner number 4. And he comes around. Jack Hitt can't quite get it done. Ross going to be your winner here in heat number 2. Jack Hitt there second. Bixler third. Wilson there fourth. Shreves in fifth as the results slowly come in here. So unofficially, Adam Ross, your winner. There we go. Adam Ross gets the win. Jack Hitt there second. Stephen Mixler there third. Jacob Wilson there fourth. Randy Shreves in fifth. All right. Now, here we go. Look, we'll be back here after a word from our sponsor.
Precision is our language. creativity is our weapon, and perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
Great job here by driver, whipping around here. And I am curious, I might be calling it the wrong track as we are here. Let's see, we are at where is it? Say the track. Oh, Lima Land. Yeah, we are at Lima Land. All right, get ready here for the feature. And down there off of the corner. Yeah, get out there. Sorry I didn't get that grid up there for you. they keep rolling it out here. Great job. Caution flag is out. Brandon Templeton goes around. On you, do what I need you to do. Come on up. Everything Templeton there in the middle of the racetrack. Just ends up bringing it across there. Ends up with a bump and up into the outside wall. Tough break here for Templeton. Working there off the corner. You see Adam Ross. Jeff Barger. Jack and Adam Ross not having a pretty decent night here in the midgets. You see out there in the front right now. First caution here in the midgets. Getting lined back up. Getting ready. Set to rock and roll once again. Pace car gonna pull off. And gonna hand it over there to Adam Ross. Down there off the corner, Ross gets going. Green flag back in the air. 21 laps to go here at Lima Land. As they bring it on out there, down there on the bottom side, back up off. You're looking at Jacket on the bottom side in that Hooters machine, trying to work that bottom side in. Jeff Barger as well down there, as you see. Down on that bottom side, Landis, so getting a great ride up there on the top side as he works down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Templeton, Barger losing ground down there on the bottom side at the moment, but Templeton also down there, as I saw. Three's in the mix up there. Jack hits, wow, all the way up there. We see him come 3 wide through the corner. Landis there in the middle. Now Landis drops down there to the bottom side in front of Barger. And they work there off the corner. Jag hit there on the top side. 18 laps to go. They work down here across the back stretch in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front stretch. Landis down there on the bottom. Tight racing here. Jack hooks underneath. Adam can't quite get there. Landis down on the bottom side, but he's got company brewing there with the 56 of Randy Shreves. Working there off the corner. Great run there for Jack Hitt and Adam Ross, but we do have Pat Boyce and Ted York getting together. And you're working at number 69 out there. Getting ready for the restart there, coming off of turn number 3 and 4. Adam Ross there on the top side. Hello. I thought I was 2, but I'm in the middle of the last race. Yes, give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. Let me finish this. All right, down there in the quarter number 1, Jack Hitt on the bottom. Adam Ross there in second. And it worked down there through 3 and 4. Landis back here in third. Jack Hitt did a great job getting himself up there into that front position. with Adam Ross there in second, Terry Landis there third, Randy Shreves in fourth, Jeff Barker in fifth, Brandon Hamilton there sixth. They work out there off the corner down through the front straightaway once again, or back straightaway, sorry, down there in through 3 and 4. Out here across the stripe, it is Jag Hit. 9 laps to go here at Limerland. As Jag Hit has the lead. Terry Landis there in third. Adam Ross there in second. Landis looking there to the inside of Adam. Not quite enough there. They work down there in the corner number 1. 6 laps to go. Here in the Regal Wraps Midgets. Jag Hit down there on the outside, leading the race. With Adam Ross there in second. Landis there in third. As Landis still battling it out there in that third spot, trying to get up there in the second. Can't quite get there. But he's going to keep an eye on the mirror. Here comes Shreves. Looking there, trying to get that third spot away from Landis. Can't quite get there as of yet. Down there on through the corner. Landis trying everything he can. Same with Shreves. Working there through turn number 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front straightaway. 3 laps to go here for Jag Hit and the rest of them. They work down there. 2 laps to go. They come across the stripe. Out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Landis looking to get by Ross. Can he get there? Not yet. Final lap. They work there off turn number 2. Landis down there on the bottom. Got a little bit of an edge. Can he keep it going though through turn 3 and 4? He's going to try to get that momentum off, but no. Adam Ross gets it coming across the line. Ross will have second place. Landis there in third. Unofficial results. Calculating in the official results as we speak. Here is your feature results. Jag Hit getting the win. Adam Ross there second. Terry Landis in third. Shreves in fourth. Ted York finishes fifth. Brandon Dumbledon there sixth. Jeff Barger in seventh. Steven Mixler there 8. Jacob Wilson there 9. Bob DeGood in 10. Pat Boyce there in 11. All right, there we go. Great job there for him as he runs out there. Oh, let's see here. Let's get with our winners quickly here. Good evening there, Ross. I believe you're our second place finisher. Is that correct? There yes, you go. Yeah. You got us now there, Adam?
Yep, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. You did a great job getting second place here tonight. Had to kind of hold off Terry there at the end.
Yeah, I haven't been on the sim in a while, so it was rusty tonight, but wasn't sure what I was doing wrong, so couldn't critique myself halfway through the race. I just knew I had to hold off Terry there because he's always fast in these cars. So no, I'm just proud to bring it home second.
Well, you did a great job, and I mean, you look great out there in all the series there tonight that you did race in, and hopefully we'll see you back again next week. You got any sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight? Or, I mean, getting that getting second place here tonight?
Yeah, we'll be back, and I also got to thank Glen Stars Racing, Burger Bar, and Petro Plus Travel Stop, Ace One Construction, Kingpin Farms, Driving with Haley, and you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Andy Patton for sponsoring.
Great job out there in that number 35 tonight. And you have yourself a great night. Enjoy second place as best you can. I mean, the competition here at Coast to Coast is tough.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, Adam Ross, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Terry Landis. Good evening there, Terry. How's it going?
Good, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, you brought that car into third place. I know you had issues there the first two series of the night, but was able to finish one out here.
Yeah, really. Well, I can uh, rely on my midget to get me the money.
Yeah. I mean, Port Royal definitely had it in for you, so you came over here to Lima Land to run the midget, and you had a little bit better time here at Lima Land than you did at Port Royal.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I don't know why I run that top side up there, but you got to sometimes to see if it's fast, and the wall bit me today.
Yeah, them walls, they'll reach out and bite anybody, I heard.
Yeah, really, they will.
It just
Yep.
apparently picked you tonight.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, of course.
So, you got any sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that third place finish tonight?
Yeah, you Adam for putting the show on. And Flieger TV, that's a great place to watch your races. And Jeter and C2C giving us a place to race, and boys back at KSR and all the admins do their stuff. And Kreitz Old Track Parts, bend some things, give them a call. And Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, if you put cart in the checkout, and you'll get 15% off of some excellent internet popcorn. And then my wife Judy.
Alrighty, well, congrats there on that third place, and we'll see you next week there, Terry.
All right, Adam, you take care.
All right, that was Terry Landis, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with Jack Hitt. Good evening there, Jack. How's it going?
Doing good. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing pretty well here. You put that thing in a great line and got it to victory lane here tonight, driving that Hooters number 217 midget all the way to victory lane. Looked like you had a pretty good handle on it.
Yeah, car felt good, especially the later we went, and track got a little slicker and everything. But it was a good time. We don't see Connor Ross out here too much, but I got to race him there in the heat race, and then for most of the feature too. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, I always think these cars are a lot of fun, and it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm so happy to sponsor it for you guys and make sure that it does get on air and stuff, because I don't think it get quite the attention I feel they deserve.
Yeah, I think some guys just get scared. They're hard to drive, but once you get kind of the hang of it and the feel for it, it kind of drives itself. But we've had smaller car counts for a long time now. I wish we could get some more guys out here. I don't know what it is, but keep hoping it'll change.
Well, truthfully, to get these things up to up there, drivable, like you're saying, it's like any dirt car. It just takes seat time.
Yeah, for sure. And they don't. It's not like you're going from your limited late models to your pros or moving up 305s, 360s or something. You don't really have something to base it off of. So, just gotta. Well, I guess now there's the.
I think we do now.
Yeah.
We have that midget non-wing.
But those micros, even they still drive quite a bit different. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's all about seat time, and yeah, I think it shows that I spend most of my seat time in a midget here on iRacing. So, yeah, glad we can keep it going.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and we'll. You got any other sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank before you go here tonight?
I got to thank you for putting on the broadcast, and Regal Wrap and Designs sponsoring, everybody behind the scenes making things go around, all the guys that show up. Like we might have small car counts, but I still feel like we put on a great race every week, side-by-side racing and everything. So, yeah, that's about it. Got to thank my wife for giving me time to do it.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, and we'll see you next week here, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
All right, that was Jack Hitt, our victory winner here tonight at Lima Land in the midget. Thank you all for coming out and watching here at Coast to Coast Racing Network and over there at On the Pole from Flinger Farm TV. Thanks again so much, and we'll see you in the next. Or we'll see you here in just a little bit over at Flinger Farm TV, but we'll see you next week here on Coast to Coast Racing Network. For me, anyway. As far as I know. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself a great, great night.